You tuned in to the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. More bounce to the ounce, and I say what counts. Don't nobody go home till the fat man gets it in. What's happening, chocolate people? We're riding out for another Tuesday evening so we can chop up game and get it cracking. To get it crack-a-lacking. Got a whole lot of things to talk about tonight. Glad you're tuning in with us. You could be doing something else, but you're riding out with the Iceman this evening. And I thank you and I welcome you to the broadcast. As you already know, we go hard in the paint here on the Iceman Show and on Saturdays on the Players Circle podcast. So like my man said, hide your kids and hide your women because it's about to get real in the field. You digs? we're going to jump right into this. The guest, we're doing a triple cast here on Tuesday. The guest call-in number is area code 646-668-2291, 646-668-2291. Please call in so we can have a live discussion on today's topics. Don't be scared. Don't be insecure. Go ahead and call in. I ain't gonna bite your head off. We got a lot of black folks need to stop being scared. You ain't scared to go up in that store and spend all your money, spend your child's inheritance, spend your grandchildren's inheritance and your retirement. So why you scared to call up on the show? Last couple of weeks, been getting cats, like I said, cats asked me to fire up blogtalkradio.com/The Iceman Show. And then cats talking about they scared to call in. Well, you ain't no man if you scared to call in. Because I see all kind of stuff being talked about on Facebook and guys posting video blogs on YouTube talking shit, but then you scared to call in and talk to me. So I'm like, what kind of man is scared of another man? Makes me wonder if you got a nut sack. Makes me wonder, homie. Serious, real talk. Makes me wonder. And we're gonna get into some of this stuff. We're gonna get into why black men are scared and why black women are scared, but hide behind a bunch of tough talk. We're gonna talk about that stuff during today's broadcast. We ain't gonna be on all night. This ain't gonna be no 3 and 4 hour live stream. I'm gonna get on here and get off. Because I got stuff to do. I got to finish these songs so I go to the studio. I should have been done by now. I should have wrote 16, 17 songs by now. And I haven't really been getting into anything because it got cold. It's been getting down to like high 20s. So it's been getting kind of cold, man. So I ain't been really wanting to be out there in that cold trying to go, do stuff. I try to do stuff earlier in the day and then be out of there, be off the streets by early afternoon so I can take care of paperwork or whatever it is I need to do. Plus, I need to finish writing this book. I'm thinking about getting it done by March. That way I got 2 or 3 months to edit, change things, make sure stuff is popping. Make sure all my ducks are in a row. Make sure, I'm spell checking the whole thing. I'm going to try not to write a part 2. With the dating Bible, what I'm really trying to accomplish is just totally writing the whole thing, even if it's 400 pages. Just get all my ideas down and then just go from there. Because I'm like with my first book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1, there's going to be a Volume 2. However, the dating Bible picks up where I left off in here on dating. The last 2 or 3 chapters about dating, simping, and tricking and hoeing. And I pick up where I left off in here. You can get this book at asktheiceman.com or you can get it at amazon.com. The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. I don't know if you guys really pay attention to the media. I know, like, again, we all have busy lives. Some of you have children at home, grandchildren you watching, taken care of, so you don't necessarily have a whole lot of time. But I want you to pay attention when you do look at television. I want you to look at these commercials and really peep game, because sometimes the white supremacy is right under the surface. Sometimes you got to look at something more than once to realize that they're giving the black person or black people in the commercial a backhand slap. You might say, well, it's good they got more black people on television. Yeah, but what context are they being included in? Because if the context is white supremacist racism, then I would rather not see black folks on TV at all if we have to be disrespected. And it's sad that we got black people who will do anything for $1, and they have no self-respect. And the question I ask of these types of black men and women is, where's your dignity, if you have any at all? Because a lot of black folks today have no dignity. That's why it's no big deal for black people to do the things that we do on a daily basis, embarrassing ourselves and making ourselves look stupid just to be popular or to get a pat on the head from white zaddy and white mommy. Because black folks love attention. Black folks love attention. Yeah, happy Founders Day to you too, Frat. Thank you, brother. Hey, Triple T Kill, how you doing, brother? Hey, B the Great Bree, how you doing, brother? Hey, I'm gonna go hard in the paint on this Kareem Hunt situation, brother. I let it marinate for a couple of days, and I just keep getting hotter every day. Okay, but I'm gonna get into that. Oh, you can best believe, trust and believe, brother. I'm gonna show improve. Oh, I'm gonna show improve, show enough. You digs? Again, we black people, some blacks, not all, but some of us have the mentality that it's okay to be embarrassed and it's okay to pimp ourselves out as long as we can get $1. And it's always pennies on the dollar, ain't even a full dollar, which makes it even worse. Have you guys peeped that Chick-fil-A commercial with the black woman with all them damn kids? Have you guys seen that? It's embarrassing. The first time I saw, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times for me to see a commercial before I see the racism in it, unless somebody points it out to me, or unless I'm just wide awake and I just get it. Sometimes I just get it right off the bat. But there's a Chick-fil-A. I don't know what areas you guys live in. Those of you in the Southeast, I'm quite sure you see these commercials because there's a bunch of Chick-fil-A's in that area. But they got Chick-fil-A's up here where I am too. It just ain't that many of them. They more so in Portland and in Seattle. Actually, I don't think I've seen more than 1 or 2 in Seattle. There ain't too many of them up there either. That Chick-fil-A ain't a big deal up here. They got a lot of regional stuff up here. They got restaurants up here I ain't never heard of. But anyway, there's a Chick-fil-A commercial with a black woman and a bunch of fucking kids. She's got 4 kids. And it seems like most of the kids, don't even look like each other, which is because at first I was like, are these actors? Because, you know, sometimes these advertising agencies that book these, that hire these production companies to make these commercials, sometimes they do actually use actors. But that still doesn't excuse the white supremacy racism that you see in some of these commercials. But anyway, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that this was an actual family. They got a black woman up here, single mom, with 4 kids that look like they got different daddies. Now, again, most of you, let me just carve this up by gender, by sex. The black men, those of you brothers who are listening and watching, you're going to say, what's your point? The black women are going to say, well, what's wrong with there being a single mom on TV? At least they getting some money. Both of those responses are problematic. And let me explain why. How come they didn't show a black intact family with a mother and a father? Very seldom do they do that. They either show black women by themselves with a bunch of kids, or they show a black man with a white man with kids. They'll put some old homo shit up there with a black man, but very seldom. Now, Burlington Coat Factory, they put black families on their commercials. I give them props for that. A little bit of props. They do show families. But then again, Burlington Coat Factory ain't Macy's. Okay, y'all see where I'm going with this? Burlington Coat Factory is a broke people store. Now, they do sell name brand stuff, but some of that stuff, but what Burlington does, and it's a brilliant idea, what they do is they go to the Macy's and the Bloomingdale's, and they say, look, we'll buy what you didn't sell. Now, they ain't selling no Armani and no shit like that in there, but they are selling some decent there. You know, you get a Calvin Klein suit in Burlington Coat Factory for way less than you would pay for it in Macy's. You'll pay, you know, $500-600 for that suit in Macy's, and you go in Burlington Coat Factory and get the same goddamn suit for $150 or less. Not much less, but a little less than that. Because they know who their target customer is. Lower middle class people. Now, they not low class. I mean, they ain't the Walmart of department stores, but they are working lower middle class. That's who they trying to, you know, that's who their core customer is. But they ain't trying to appeal to poor people. But I guess poor people, if they can afford it, they go in there. But you have to understand race and socioeconomic status before you start deciphering these commercials. Because again, if you're a black man, you say, well, ICE, hey, yo, frat, what's your point? Or if you're a black woman, you say, well, what's wrong with a black woman being on there as a single mom? I'm a single mom. What's wrong with a single mom? Well, I'm going to get into that. But Chick-fil-A is giving black people typically the backhand slap. We'll put you on TV, but we going to clown your ass. Y'all see where I'm going with this? We going to clown you. It's just like, okay, Martin Lawrence, we're going to let you do some movies, but we want you to do Big Mama's House. We want you to dress up like a woman. Tyler Perry, we want you to dress up like a woman. Y'all see where I'm going with this? Yeah, we on TV, But look at the context. You don't have to be a college graduate to figure this shit out. You need to have a brain, and you need to have critical thinking skills. Because if you don't have that, then you don't see what the fuck I'm talking about. Now, if you don't get it the first time, go back once they post this, go back and look at this again. And you'll probably understand what I mean. But they got this sorry ass black woman on TV with all these damn kids. 4 kids. And they talking about going to Chick-fil-A to eat. See, brothers, if you've dated a large swath of women of different races and socioeconomic backgrounds, you could probably understand where I'm going with this. Because if you've ever dated, especially American single moms, most of these women, regardless of race, they're damn near all the same, other than looks and race, and to a certain degree, socioeconomic status. But they're all, one thing they have in common is all of them are sorry as fuck. How many times have you been banging a single mom, and when she feed her kids, she give them cut up wieners and raviolios? That's dinner, and some corn. I'm gonna give y'all some vegetable here, corn. Now you know damn good and well, based on what you saw in the movie Friday, that corn goes through your digestive system and it provides no nutritious value whatsoever. Remember when Ezel said to Smokey, said, hey, man, I'll clean that up for $2. Oh, you been eating corn, huh? To me, ain't nothing more ghetto than seeing somebody feed their kids garbage. That's heartbreaking to me. Because when I did live with women and they just happened to have children, I used to cook full fucking meals. And them kids was like, mama don't never cook nothing like this. I'm like, look at this motherfucker. And these are Caucasian women whose kids said this to me. Where you learn how to cook like this? I said, my parents cooked like this. But they clown that sister. But that black woman, she ain't no sister. They clowned her ass. That's a backhand slap. How often, brothers, just let me speak to the brothers for a second. How often have you seen a commercial where there's a Caucasian female that's a single mom with a bunch of fucking kids? I'll wait. I understand people, sometimes relationships don't work out. Sometimes men and women come together and copulate and procreate, and maybe they was just having fun. They was just hanging out, and a child was created. That, you know what? Or the woman was married to somebody, or she was living with somebody and the relationship didn't work out. And she unfortunately became a single mom. Now, when I was growing up, it was embarrassing to be a single mom. It was embarrassing to be on welfare. That's why when Eddie Murphy, when he did that his first concert movie, Delirious, when they were talking about y'all on the welfare, you on the welfare. That's the reason why black people, that was so funny to black people, because a lot of black people was on welfare then. That's why it was so funny. And I was proud of my parents that they never subjected us to that shit. But a lot of you women, because you want to be able to be sexually promiscuous and sleep with as many men as you want to, you didn't care how many times you got pregnant. There's no telling how many abortions you've had. They said over the past 20 years, black women have had over 14 million abortions. Why you think Planned Parenthood is mainly in inner city areas? So the black folks can continue to kill each other. You can't just do shit and there not be a cause and then an effect. Because what they don't talk about is the psychological damage that it does to the women, and then sometimes the men, when the woman chooses to have an abortion. Now you women run around this motherfucker talking about it's my body. You wasn't saying that shit when you had your legs up on my shoulders. Now were you? You wasn't saying this. You was saying this your pussy. That's what I remember. You saying who? I said who pussy is? Whose pussy is this? You said it's your pussy. But all of a sudden now it's just your pussy, and you can do with it as you wish. Hopefully, the Supreme Court will be changing that in the next 5 years. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, the far right, they're gonna change that shit. Somebody's gonna file. I'm gonna tell you right now, somebody's gonna file a federal lawsuit banning abortion, and it's gonna go all the way up to the Supreme Court. Believe that. Roe v. Wade, there's a chance that Roe v. Wade will be overturned. And these feminists are shook over it, over the possibility that may happen. You have to understand, the chickens are going to come home to roost for white supremacy. Now, I know a lot of you guys, especially you ladies, probably get tired of me talking about feminism. But I can't stop talking about feminism because it's wrong. And you need to understand the basis and you need to understand that feminism goes hand in hand and is born out of white supremacy. So if you're a black woman and you look at television and you see Chick-fil-A clowning your fellow black female citizens, you ought to be outraged. The problem with Black America today is we're not outraged over anything. I see somebody sent me a video on Facebook with some black woman with a overly voluptuous behind, and she's sitting there rubbing baby oil all over her ass. And I'm sitting there like, what is black men? What are you doing? What do you do during the day and night? I understand that the internet affords you so much that you can get into on a daily basis. I get that. However, because I'm not a person to waste a lot of time, I I understand, but I'm trying not to get too deep into that because that's not really the point of my podcast. To go down rabbit holes talking about stuff that is asinine, in my opinion. That Chick-fil-A commercial is embarrassing. And if it would have been put on television 30 or 40 years ago, back in the 80s, black women would have been talking shit. They would have been talking cash shit. How dare you put this welfare hoe on TV with all these goddamn kids that look like they got different daddies? What is this shit? But today, black women are not outraged because the collective self-esteem of black men and women is so goddamn low. We don't get outraged over anything unless the police is whooping somebody's ass and somebody posted on YouTube or Facebook. But we ain't gonna do nothing about it. We just gonna be outraged, like the video, and we're gonna go on about our business. Maybe we'll talk about it at work. But that's as far as it's gonna go. Ain't nobody gonna do shit because most of y'all are just sitting around waiting for Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson to stand up for you. But that is, to me, for them to put a single mom with all them goddamn kids on TV talking about, we go to Chick-fil-A, and from what what one of my homies was telling me, because I can't remember the whole dialogue in the commercial, but it sounded to me like they were saying they frequented. They can't talk tonight. They frequented Chick-fil-A more than once a week. So I was sitting there thinking, like, what, bitch, you can't cook? I never thought we'd come to the time in modern history where you got probably 70% of the black women in this country can't even cook, which is why a lot of them are obese, because a lot of black women, they'll go eat Taco Bell for dinner. Back in my day, when I was dating in my early 20s, black women's like, no, nigga, we gonna go to my house. I'm a cook. I'll cook some better shit than that Taco Bell shit. I ain't eating that shit. Although Taco Bell wasn't bad in the 80s. They served real food back then. I don't know what that mystery meat shit is in they tacos today. I remember one time when I still had my dog, I was traveling and, you know, I was starving. I know my dog was starving because I hadn't fed her. And then we stopped and she sniffed them tacos and didn't even want none of them. Not that I was going to give her any of that garbage anyway. I gave her some dog food after we stopped. But you have people who black people have a low collective self-esteem. And I think a lot of us see these inequities, but we don't say nothing because it's like, well, I ain't finna challenge white mommy and white daddy. That's a lot of y'all's mentality because a lot of y'all still work on them corporate plantations. So you like Ice, you work for yourself. I can't be a militant like you. I ain't really militant. I just got common sense, and I'm willing to stand up for my race. I'm not against Caucasian people. I'm not against Latinos. I'm not against Asians. I'm not against Native Americans. I ain't against nobody, but don't come for a nigga. That's how I am. Unlike you, I'm gonna stand up for who I am. And if I have to whoop somebody's ass of another race, I'm gonna do it if you step on my toes. That's just the way it is. Because that's how they react to your black ass. They have no problem letting you know you're not wanted in their communities. You can't drive around their communities and look at Christmas lights. You drive around, next thing you know, by the time you turn around and get ready to go to the end of the street, they didn't already call 5-0. Now you talking about, look, damn, here come one time. Pulling your ass over. Hey, what you blacks doing over here? What y'all doing over here? We had a call that was some black folks casing houses. What y'all doing over here? But we let anybody move into our neighborhoods and set up shop. We let anybody start businesses in our neighborhoods. We let anybody sell drugs in our neighborhoods. We don't do shit but put bars on our doors and windows and then just hide out and be like, hope them niggas don't fuck with me. It's sad. When that crack shit popped off, I used to go down south to my granny's houses. The last few years of their lives, both my grandparents on my dad's side, Big Mama and Big Papa, and my grandmother, because my grandfather had passed away back in the 80s, so she was by herself. And they both lived, like my dad's peoples lived on this street with they house facing this way. And then my grandmother's house was on the corner, my mom's mom. So they would walk there was only a fence separating them. So it wasn't uncommon for you to see both my big mamas out there talking to each other. I drive up, or we pull up from wherever we went, and we pull up there. My grandma Elsie out there, my grandma Roxy out there. They out there chopping it up, having a good old time. Okay, just being black folk. But that neighborhood was so beautiful, man. People are so friendly, because where I come from, people don't speak. If somebody speak to you 10 times out of 10 after that, they about to ask you for something. That's how I ain't even gonna get into that. Man, let me keep my mouth closed on that. But after that crack era, next thing you know, the neighborhood changed. Had all these fiends walking through there. Hey man, you want to buy some cheeseburgers, nigga? Nigga, I suck your dick. I'm like, oh, hell no. Not down here. I expect that out there in South Central LA. I don't expect that shit down here. But you go down there now, man, the whole community is decimated with that crack shit. Thanks to good old George H.W. Bush. I'm going to do a whole show on crack. We used to joke around in the military that George H.W. Bush was the father of crack cocaine. We used to joke about that in the military. But black people seem to not know when we being clowned. We don't know when we being clowned, I don't think. We don't understand we don't understand that this is going to keep going. This is going to keep happening until black people get off their asses and start standing up for themselves. Because you might as well, they're going to continue to keep killing us. These race soldiers posing as police officers going to keep killing us. It ain't going to stop. There'll be more Eric Garners. There'll be more Rakia Boyds. There'll be more Sandra Blands. There'll be more Trayvon Martins until black folks start standing up. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, and I said this the last show. If George Zimmerman was a black dude that hauled off and killed Trayvon Martin and he was white, that nigga would be dead. That nigga would have been on a tree by sundown, by the next day. He been just like this. Okay? Or if he was in jail, them Aryan Brotherhood niggas would have got at him. They would have got at him. Okay? The but black folks not standing up is really starting to become it's been a problem since they introduced since LBJ and Senator Moynihan and Richard Nixon came up with this inner city policy of benign neglect. This day has been on the horizon for 5 decades. And now it's here. Just like George Bush's policies, Reagan and George H.W. Bush's policies in Central America are now coming home to roost. Now these people can't even stay in their own country. Why? Because the CIA has taken their leaders out, put puppet leaders in there who are pro-narcotic, pro-narco, and in return, the CIA gave them money. So you have these extraordinarily rich Guatemalans and El Salvadorians and other folks in these, some of the other countries. You got these extremely rich people and then below dirt poor people. There's no middle class. There's just extremely rich people in those countries and extremely poor people. These people are less than poor. Because you have to ask yourself, why would you want to walk in that hot ass sun all the way up through Mexico? No food, no water. Knowing we got a white nationalist in the White House that said, don't bring your ass up here. And again, those of you who challenge me, I'm telling you right now, the optics might be bad, but President Trump can order them to use lethal force if they cross that border. And there are a lot of other countries out here who do the same thing. You just don't hear about it. You have to defend our borders. And for them not to defend our borders all this time, going wink, 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 wink. Y'all can come over here, wink, 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 wink. Then Reagan gave them amnesty back in the 80s. Y'all better study history, man. One of the main reasons why they allowed so many of them to come over here is because they are considered Caucasians, and the population of Caucasians in this country has been decreasing. They have either no birth rates or very high infant mortality rates. Believe it or not, there's the infant mortality rates amongst Caucasians is higher than it is for any melanated people. Blacks and then Hispanics have the most children in this country without, a brother can blow on your vagina and get you pregnant. Okay? Caucasian people will sit up here and be screwing for 10 years and still can't have no babies. No, we just got to get on code. Got to get on code. We don't have to. We don't all have to think alike. We just have to agree on the same economic policy that benefits everything. The problem with American culture is that it's based in individualism. We talk all that teamwork shit. You see all these tearjerker commercials. You know, they try to act like, oh, Americans, we're about standing together. That is bullshit. I served in a war, and I can tell you right now, everybody got racially tribal. The brothers were over here, Caucasian dudes was over here, and the Hispanic kiss asses were over there with the white dudes. Even guys that hung out with brothers at work back in the States, even they start acting like showing their true white supremacist colors. It wasn't a war. Let me tell you something. War doesn't unite people. You can ask the Vietnam veterans that. War does not unite people. But if you start getting shot at, people start getting together and saying, hey, we got to get back to the rear. Throw some of that lead. But once we get back to the rear, everybody's back to acting, back to hanging out with their own race group. Even some of the black officers start coming over there hanging with us, with the enlisted guys, because they didn't want to be around all them white officers who are acting like white supremacists. So they come over there and be like, hey, you guys cutting hair over here? So they'll come over and cut hair, wouldn't leave. Well, lieutenant colonels, captains, majors, the younger lieutenants, they were all cool because they were just out of college. All the brothers would be sitting in front of the tent talking shit, having a good fucking time. But we don't realize when we getting clowned. See, I can recognize when they put something in the media and black folk and they put a black face on it, I pick up on that. My antenna goes right up because I'm like, what's the play here? What's the end game here? What's the end game? What message? What is the context? What are they trying to convey to us? And you have to understand, you're dealing with a group of people who are very insecure. They destroy everything they put their hands on. Everywhere they show up, people die, mainly melanated people. And so they have to be reassured on a daily basis that they're number one. So shitting on black women, especially as an example that's put before us in this Chick-fil-A commercial, that you have to understand, they like putting that stuff on TV because there's some Caucasian people like seeing single moms with a bunch of kids. That makes them feel good. You know, like I said, I study Caucasian people, and again, they have very low self-esteem. When you cut away all their tanning, all their bullshit money, and all their designer this and designer that. When you cut away all that bullshit, you got a very insecure, evil motherfucker. Not all the time, but most of the time. And like I said, everywhere they go around the world, people die except for them. And next thing you know, the native people are given jobs, but they got their land taken, they got their language taken, they got their religion taken, they have no spirituality no more. They hate each other. They hate the way they look. But everything's okay because you got a job. As I'm discussing in my second book, The Dating Bible, the second chapter I wrote talks about feminism. And I talk about Gloria Steinem, CIA subversive. And I talk about how feminism is a CIA program, just like COINTELPRO. And feminism is supposed to appear to look like it's the women's move. It's about that. It's It's about women's equality. That's what that's the mask that feminism wears. That this is about equality for women and egalitarianism. That's not true. What feminism is really about is Caucasian females, white supremacist females, wanting to sit beside Caucasian males and dominate our black asses as well as these other people of color. That's what feminism is really about. Just like when we start talking about the Me Too movement, the only people I see being sliced and diced are black men. You know, they going after what's the astrologer, DeGrasse, whatever his name is, that weirdo dude. Now some Beckys are talking about talking about he has sexually harassed some Beckys, and by the, you know, what I see with the picture of one of the Beckys that he's standing there talking to, she wasn't very attractive at all. You see how black men get caught up? Black men always get caught up in some bullshit because we don't pay attention to anything. And I'm going to get to that in the Kareem Hunt situation. I'm going to try to spend most of my time on that. Be the great B. Are you still a mod? Get this Obama bin Laden asshole out of here. We got white supremacists in the house. We see somebody from the mayonnaise militia got the day off from Walmart. The fork in the road came in the late 60s, early 70s with black men and women. Black women, what the white supremacist female did was she convinced a large swath of the black female population that it was better to get welfare and WIC and food stamps and AFDC rather than have a man in your house and build a life together as a team. And what they did is they tapped into black women's individualism. You got to understand, the one thing about American culture is they try to put forth this image that we're a team and we're not. Like, I think it's interesting to hear Caucasian people say, well, why do you black people always have to be complaining all the time? Why don't you just let things be the way they are? Because I'm not saying they should be equal, but because you get our tax money at the local, state, and federal levels, you get our tax money. We're overwhelmingly taxed more than you are. We serve our country proudly. We're the #1 consumer group in this country. And yet you get all the wealth. You're right. We're not gonna sit idly by and continue to watch you ride past us in a brand new Infinity $80,000 SUV while we're barely rolling down the street in a 95 Hyundai that's got tape on the door. The disparities between blacks, Caucasian and blacks income in this country is ridiculous. And it keeps getting bigger every year. And not only does it keep getting bigger, but we keep spending all our money in the wrong directions. Which is why I keep telling y'all, economically, we have to redirect that money. And it's not going to get any better until we wake up and do better. And black men are going to have to take the lead on this one. I'm sorry, you're going to have to take the lead, bruh. You can't sit idly by and not do nothing the way we've been doing. That's not going to fly anymore, player. We can't keep doing things the way we've been doing them because we keep paying a heavy cost for it. Everybody, this is $5 Tuesday. All we're asking for is $5. Please go to asktheiceman.com. All your donations are tax deductible. All we asking for is $5, man. That's it. But when black women took that carrot from the feminist, that was the death knell in black male, black female relationships. Now, I'm not saying that brothers, there aren't brothers out here who have gotten black women who are willing to build a life with them, because I know some that have, but they are far and few. The rest of them ain't nothing but garbage. That's why online dating is a joke, because all you got on there is bum ass single moms who men can't stand. That's why they on there. And I don't care if they're attractive or not. Most of them are not. 90% of them are fat and ugly, or skinny and ugly, or just straight up ugly. But there might be 5 to 10% that are attractive. So you have to ask, well, if 90% of these women are garbage and look like garbage, then what's wrong with these good-looking ones? Well, they probably got a disease. They probably got herpes or something, or they got something else wrong with them. I guarantee something's wrong with the package. Or they got a mental disorder. They bipolar 2, or they're schizophrenic, or they got schizotypical disorder, or they got borderline personality disorder. And they can hide it with medication. That's why I stopped doing online dating years ago. Even when I did do it, it was just easy ass. That's the only reason why I was on there. It was easy ass. Easy ass off of there. But now all you got is a bunch of single moms on there bullshitting, thinking they can find a dummy. That's where all that dine and dash shit comes from. I'm writing about all that shit. You got Caucasian females that are going there and try to act like they date black men, and they don't even date black men, but they'll go and get, you know, just to get a free drink and a free dinner out of your ass. Just to pump up their ego. But now black men are getting hip to that shit. But I get asked all the time, what's wrong with the dynamic between black men and black women? I'm going to tell you what the dynamic is. Feminism. That's where all this disrespect and black women's contempt for black men come from. It comes from feminism. These Caucasian females have fooled them into believe that they're a sister in the struggle. But when it's just like with the Me Too movement popped off, that Toronto, whatever her name is, KRS-One. She started the hashtag, and then the white women said, "Oh, we get a gang of money out this shit." So then they create the movement behind the Me Too hashtag. And then what they did is when it was time to get that bag of money, the black women got left in the dust. And now Tarana Burke is complaining in the media that the white feminists stole her glory. And there's an article online where she's talking about she receives absolutely no money. And people was like, well, were you trying to get rich off this shit or what? She got nothing. The white women got all the money, all the donation money, all of that went to the white owned nonprofits. They got all the money. Tarana Burke didn't get shit. See, black women, you don't know how to play. You don't know how to play with the big dogs. You don't know how to play with the big dogs. Otherwise, you wouldn't keep getting played like that. And see, black women, you run around here trying to align yourself with these white supremacist females. And like I said, when it's time to get that bag, all of a sudden, the white women are over here. Your black ass is over here with nothing. Like somebody posted some bullshit on Facebook. Somebody I went to high school with. Painted some bullshit. She one of these feminists. Guess she got her ass whooped by a couple of niggas. And so she called, she's all about this domestic violence shit. Guess she got her ass whooped. So she thinks she's buddy with these white feminists. And she every now and then she'll try to make real slick ass comments, talking greasy. And I you know how I always shut her down? How many of that white female, how many of that white supremacist donation money are you getting? Next thing you know, I don't get no response from her ass. But yet, if you looked at the thread of the post she put up there, all these white women would try to act like they were her buddy. Like I said, black women, you're getting played. You're getting played. And this is why white supremacy continues to thrive, is because we got coon-ass black men out here and sellout race trading ass black women out here who sit up here and call themselves aligning themselves with white feminists, and they get no benefit out of it. When it's all said and done, the black woman ends up with nothing. And you out there pumping your fist doing this shit with the white females. And again, when it's time to cut that check, you get nothing. Because black women ain't part of these white nonprofits. I was doing research today for this live stream about domestic violence. And I was trying to find the correlation between a domestic violence incidents and how many ended in a woman being murdered. And I'm telling you right now, the percentage was ridiculous. But I'll get into that when I start talking about this Kareem Hunt situation. I read at least 3 different articles on domestic violence, and the statistics were way off on each one of them. One said that there was a certain amount of domestic violence incidences per year, and then another website said something else. And I was like, if it's one thing to be off 5 or 10 percentage points, but when you're off 20%, that doesn't look too good. You digs? That makes me wonder what the hell's really going on here. Because what they try to say, the feminists try to say about domestic violence, is they try to say that the domestic violence usually ends in somebody being murdered. That was the argument they were trying to use with O.J. Simpson. And we all know that was a lie. Only 5% of domestic violence cases where there's more than at least one incident, only 5% of them end up in somebody being murdered. And what they're not telling you is that there are also other mitigating factors, and there's also men included in that number. What if there was what if money had something to do with it? The reason why that guy, maybe he ultimately killed that woman. What if there was other things that were at play here? Maybe he didn't want her taking his children. Because women today pull that kind of shit. They'll just disappear with your children. Whether there's just because they don't want to be with your ass no more. Because these feminists have made it ridiculous for a man to set foot in family court. So you have judges that have no problem with making sure the man has no relationship with his children. But the problem is, even if that woman is able to get remarried and find a simp who's dumb enough to take care of some other man's children, those children are scarred for life emotionally because you took away half the parents. You took away half the parenting. And that's why you get these black men when they don't grow up in the house with their daddies, they ain't got no control over themselves. The only time that somebody gets control of them is when they're in a prison cell. And it's a little too late for that. But that's the world we live in. But the problem is we got so many. See, you have to understand something. And this is what I hear from especially a lot of young brothers. A lot of cats is like this. I'd rather sit at home with a hard, dry dick than to put up with black women's bullshit. That's what it's come down to. The problem with that is just like the unemployment rate. They might say the unemployment rate is 4.7%, but they're only counting white folks. They ain't counting us because our unemployment rates are damn near 50%. We get excluded in a lot of these statistics, except for when they want to inflate crime statistics. So we unfortunately have a country. We live in the richest country in the world, and we have people who can't even, date each other, let alone get married. And now you have young brothers who are saying, man, look, man, if I gotta deal with black women, I'd rather not even fuck around. You never heard that shit back in the 80s. Even in the 90s, you didn't hear that shit until like maybe you didn't really hear a lot of bad mouthing about black women's behavior until probably about maybe, I want to say 05, 06, 07. 08, depending on who you talk to. And this has contributed, Black women, your willingness to join in on feminism, on white supremacist feminism, is one of the reasons why 80% of you are single moms and have never been married. Or very few of you have been married at least once. And now you're a single mom. When you get my age, that starts becoming a problem. Now, if you're a decent looking woman and maybe you're a 7 and up, you don't care when you're 30 years old. But by the time you get about 45, you start caring, because even though you might still be good looking, you still ain't packing them. You still ain't packing them in like you used to. Guys ain't trying to holler at you at the gym like they used to. Guys ain't trying to holler at you at work like they used to. Guys ain't trying to holler at you at the bars like you used to. And online dating ain't working out for you, because Black women fall in last place out of men and women of all races. Black women do the worst on online dating. You do worse than you do. Well, Asian women are number 1, followed by Caucasian women, then Latino women, then you, then well, Native American women. I ain't even gonna put them in it. So you see, there is a long-term detriment to being a single mom. That shit is cute when you're 28, 29, 30 years old. And you don't have no man saying, you don't have a man saying, girl, where you going? You going to the club again? You going to the bar? I thought we supposed to be a couple. Why you still out there looking for a new nigga? Because that's what women do when they go to the bar and the club. Don't believe that shit. Don't believe that shit when your girl say, I'm just going out with my friends. Yeah, she's going out with her friends to find new niggas. That's why whenever I meet women and you supposed to be grown and you out here still going to bars, putting on your tightest of tight pants, when I see that, I stop calling. I stop texting. I'm done. Because you're not mature. You're still silly acting. You still act like a junior high school girl. I'm not dealing with that at my age. And if you deal with it, you's a fool. You saw they handicap or amputees. I remember one time somebody sent me a link of this of some webcam girls, and the brother sent me a link to this. This white girl had one leg, and she was a webcam girl. And I said to myself, no disrespect, but goddamn, dog. You got a one-legged bitch up here making money? I'm like, come on, dude. How hard up are American men? How hard up are we? Where's your dignity, man? Exactly. He said the bitch looked like that little boy in that movie Mask with Cher. Exactly. Y'all niggas crazy, man. Y'all niggas be cracking me the fuck up, man. Yeah, they batshit crazy. The women be crazy. That's why people ask me when I lived in the Middle East, people ask me, they say, hey, what's the purpose of keeping their women in check? I said, look at how American women act. Look how disrespectful they are. You could go out, dude. Let me explain something to you. See, this is why I have to write the dating Bible. This is the main reason why I have to write this book, is because you have to understand women, their thought process is different from ours. Yeah, we all need oxygen, we all need water, and we all need food. But that's where it ends. Now, there are some similarities with intimacy, but you have to ask yourself, why is it that American women and westernized women are in such bad shape? Why are they so nasty acting? Why are they so evil? Why are they so promiscuous? That's why they keep a wraps on their women. They don't let their women get out of control because they know the spirit of a woman. Women are easily corruptible. It's easy to corrupt a woman's mind. A woman will go spend all her money on clothes and then won't have no money for her rent. So what she'll do is post a profile on plentyofat.com or plentyoffish.com and start asking dudes for money. They'll give you the pole mile. Okay, I don't have enough money for my rent. Know what I've said to them bitches? You need me to take you to the shelter? Need a ride to the shelter? I can take you to the shelter. Oh, no, that won't be necessary. I guess you ain't about to lose your place then. Don't tell me about you can't pay your rent this month, because I ain't paying it. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. I ain't never paid no woman's rent. And I never will. And I've gotten plenty of ass. Because I've had women say, well, you ain't getting no ass then. I said, well, you know what? You don't know what I'm getting. You don't know what the hell I'm getting. And I would venture to say, you're not on the right track. But relationships between black men and black women are in a piss poor state today because black women have bought into an ideology that will never work in the black community or black society. They'll never work. That shit will never work because feminism is born out of white supremacy. The same people that gave you white supremacy are the same people who are giving you feminism. And the problem with black folks is they haven't made that correlation. Because black women want to find some way to say, see, black men, We're cool with white women. We're cool with these white men. They like us, but they don't like you. Now, only a fool will say something like that. Only a fool would think like that. That's why the person that, you know, that I went to high school with, you know, she tries to align herself with all these so-called white domestic violence advocates. And I keep telling her over and over again, I say, you're going to get in trouble doing that. You're going to get in trouble because let me tell you, you're going to get yourself in trouble, lady. And the reason why you're going to get yourself in trouble is because at the end of the day, with those folks, it's always race first. At the end of the day, they always put their race ahead of their politics. They put race in front of their religion. They put race in front of. Let me end Blog Talk Radio here. Let me go ahead and end. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel Blog Talk Radio after this last month because you niggas ain't calling in, and you know I'm not gonna keep spending money on something, and you guys ain't even bother to call in. Hey, y'all notice Timmy Diamonds ain't showed his face because I had to get on his ass because all you guys be donating and his ass don't donate. Okay. Hey, you guys, we're at $15. Let's get to 50 tonight. Let's raise 50 tonight. We're at $15. Let's raise 50 tonight. Okay. You tune into the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. And so if you're a race of people, you got males, you got females. If you got a race of people and the men are like, okay, I'm looking for a woman to build something with. But then you got the women on this side talking about, oh, I'm a black woman, but I'm a feminist. And I align myself with Gloria Steinem and Gloria Allred and all these other subversives. What do you think is going to happen after a while? There's not going to be a schism. There's going to be a divide between those males and females that are as wide, if not wider, than the Grand Canyon. You cannot, brothers, you can't make anything work with a woman who has the mindset of a Caucasian woman. It will not work. I'm telling you, it would never work. That's why I'm single. Because these, if you do get with these women, they're only there to get resources out of you. They ain't there to build nothing. All they're there to do is steal resources. And there's nothing you can do about it other than avoid these women. Somebody posted a video of Cardi B's ignorant ghetto whorish ass talking about this ain't the early 2000s when you used to give your woman $100 to go get her nails done and to get a couple of things. Now you better give your woman at least $1,000. You better give her a stack. Because she got to get her nails done. She got to get her extensions. She got to get this done. She got to get that done. So that's going to cost at least a stack. Now, 20 years from now, if Cardi B is still living, I guarantee she'll be a single mom. She'll be singing a whole nother tune. When I get somebody over here to hit this, don't nobody want to hit this ass no more? You got 40 and 50-year-old women on Facebook with tattoos all like this. And you niggas, the reason why these women go out here and take the time to post all these whorish pictures of themselves is because you niggas are liking those pics. Ooh, you beautiful. Ooh, you fine. Ain't no woman beautiful that's over a certain age, a woman of a certain age, and she posting ass pics. That's not a beautiful woman, dog. That's those are the kinds of black women you avoid. Those are the kinds of black women that I fuck and chuck. And if they talk that, you better give me a stack or I ain't even gonna leave the house, I'll be like, bitch, I guess you're gonna be in for the night. Or you're gonna have to call another nigga. Cause I ain't about to spend no money on your ass. I ain't giving nobody a stack of anything. Unless I'm buying some music equipment. Okay? Yeah, I've gone out and spent $5,000 on music equipment at Guitar Center and other music retailers. That's for me. I'll go out and spend $700 on a suit or $1,000 on a suit. Why? Because it's for me. I was married for over a decade and I never took my ex on a cruise. I never took her anywhere because her attitude was why I never took her anywhere. Did I ever go anywhere by myself? Yes. I went to Brazil and lived it up. I've lived in Europe and lived it up. Okay? I've been all through Central America just slanging dick. Dick just slanging. Okay? I was throwing dick like Michael Vick. I don't do that stuff no more because I'm more mature now. But 10 years ago, I didn't give a fuck. What up, yo? What up, Justin? Appreciate it, man. Yeah, we're going to try to raise $50 tonight, man. Those of you who have already donated, thank you. If you haven't donated, but you're still listening to the show, watching the show, man, go on over to AskTheIceman.com, scroll down to the donate button and donate $5. That's all we asking for tonight, man. I'll never ask y'all for more than that. I appreciate it if you could do more, but hey, man, that's all we asking for, man. So those of you who haven't donated, please go over there and handle that business. There's some assholes. Alarm is going off. What the hell? Checks. You can't build anything with somebody that thinks like an individual. And most black women, most black people, period, think like or just individuals. Now, America was built on individualism. Okay? We talk that teamwork shit, but we operate as individuals. You can see that in a parking lot. I hate going outside where I live to go to these stores during this time of the year because these these people act like idiots. They act like they got to kill somebody on the way to the mall. They got to kill somebody on the way to Target. That shit ain't going nowhere. What you rushing around in the street for anyway? Got ice all on the streets. Man, it's all kind of ice on the road today. I had to put make sure my road track button was pushed today, so I wouldn't be slipping and sliding down the street. Men build things. Women make it a home. That's the way it's always going to be. And feminism ain't going to never change it. Men buy homes, men build homes, men buy houses, women make it a home. How many of you guys who live alone, who are bachelors like I am, how many times have you invited somebody over to the house, a lady friend over to the house? He's like, well, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to design your place. I'm gonna have to redo your whole place. This look too much like a man live here. I'm like, lady, that's who live here. If my house looked like a woman live here, you'd be like, this dude gay. This dude homosexual. If it looked too nice, you'd be like, he probably moist. I gotta check his booty hole. But Black women have bought into Caucasian society a little too much. And it's caused, and the fallout long term is Black women having a bunch of fucking kids and no husband. It is difficult for women to date, Black women to date in America. And I'm gonna give you an example. I remember I met this lady on Facebook, of all places. She said she was a retired retired Army. This is when I was in Stank Antonio. And from her picture, you know, she wore her hair. She had a little ponytail. She wore her hair natural. She was a decent looking Black woman. And then I said, you know, she sent me a message. I didn't go look for her. She sent me a message. And I said, okay, let me see what this. And I said, man, hopefully this chick don't look like one of these chicks off of Plenty of Fish. And so I said, okay, whatever. So we met at a Dunkin' Donuts that was like not even 200 feet from my front door. And because I was like, when I meet these women, I'm like, man, I ain't taking you out to no dinner. We can meet at Winchell's Donuts. We can meet at, you know, I ain't meeting your ass at no restaurant unless you paying for your own meal. So she met me over there, and I got over there kind of late because I had to come from somewhere else to get over on that side of San Antonio. So I get over there, and she's sitting down. And so when she got ready to stand up, when I came in the door, she told me this later on, but I felt a certain kind of way. And when I talked to her after we met, she said, I kind of figured that I wasn't your type because when I stood up, the look on your face pretty much told me that you really wasn't interested. I didn't say anything, but it was clear that I wasn't interested because I never said nothing to her after that initial meeting. Now, she wasn't fat, but she was a little too big for my taste. And I was like, I'm an active guy. When I was in San Antonio, I was always riding my bike, going to the back and forth to the athletic club. I didn't play. So for me to date somebody who, a lot of black women are not physically active at all. And for somebody that's ex-military to be that out of shape and not be interested in doing anything other than just going to restaurants, eating, and going to the movies, I'm like, you got to understand, ladies, these men are not interested if you are not their type. If you're not physically active and this brother is in the gym getting his fitness on, don't get mad if he's not interested in you. It ain't his fault. You can't sit up here and hate all black men, which is what a lot of black women do. They'll just be like, I hate all black men because you have had bad luck with men. That's not our fault. That's your fault. Lose 30 pounds and maybe we'll be interested. Don't get mad at us. And I told her, I said, I said to her, I said, well, I'll be honest with you. She was a nice lady. She wasn't nasty. That's why I wasn't nasty with her. Because normally some of these black women be getting nasty. And then I had to go, I had to break bad on them, which I don't necessarily like doing. I don't like breaking bad. But if I have to, if you go ham on me, I'm going to go ham on you. And obviously, when you throw it back at them, they can't take it. They can dish it out, but they can't take it. But I told her, I said, I'll be honest with you. I said, I was expecting you to be in better shape than that. Being that you're retired military, I expected something other than what I saw. And like, again, she wasn't like morbidly obese. She was just at that cusp of being morbidly obese, which is still too big for me. And I told her, I said, you may be okay for the next brother. But for somebody like me that got high standards, this ain't going to work. This is not going to work. Because why? Because my standards are here and most black men's standards are in the toilet. Black men will take anything. That's how desperate a lot of black men are. We'll take anything. And that makes us look bad. That really makes us look bad, brothers. It's really a bad look when you're on Facebook, every old nasty, stinking, tattooed whore that's on Facebook, you liking all their pics. Every time they do a live stream where they shaking their ass, you sitting up there with your dick out. Ooh, you beautiful. Because a lot of niggas ain't got no money. A lot of niggas done fucked their lives up. They done been in and out of the penitentiary, so they get out. They ain't got no money. But you can get a computer for $100. So a lot of these niggas get online and be on here clowning. That's the only outlet they have. Or they'll go get some fat white girl to live with. That's why the Twin Cities are so fucked up now, because you got so many old bum niggas that move up there thinking they gonna live off of white girls. And them white girls done got hip to that shit. So they done sat up there and burnt them bitches up. So when, 20 years ago, when I first moved up there to the Twin City, it was popping. It wasn't uncommon. I mean, I heard all kind of stories from cats. They like, man, first time I came up here, I got laid the first night. That happened to me. The chance of that shit happening today, slim to none. Because most of the women, the population is shifted. You got a lot of new people who have moved into the Twin Cities much younger, and them bitches are playing games. But they find out the hard way that there's a lot of homosexual men in the Twin Cities. A lot of people don't know that. Outside of New York City, San Francisco, and Atlanta, which are gay meccas, but a lot of people don't know the Twin Cities is a gay mecca. So after you X out the LGBT dudes, then you got to worry about the down low dudes. Then it's a family area, so most of the men are married. So that X's out a certain number of men. You got a handful of single men, and a lot of them ain't got no money. So the pickings ain't that good, especially this time of year. After it get cold up there in the Twin Cities, woo, there's a whole lot of cold beds up there. Them women be scrambling around in the summer trying to find somebody before September. Because, it get cold, nigga. It get cold. But dating for Black women is not a fun activity. Because I remember that one Black woman telling me, she said, dating is just really difficult, man. She said, it seemed like my only choice is either date a man I got to take care of financially, or, keep getting disappointed trying to date somebody that does have something like you. I said, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not willing to settle. I settled when I got married. I'm not settling anymore. If you physically not what I'm looking for, I don't give a damn how good of a good woman you are. If I have to look at you and I see what I saw in my ex-wife, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna want to date you. And it definitely won't grow from that to a marriage, because I ain't interested in getting married again anyway, unless it's a foreign woman. But because of the internet, a lot of these foreign women have gotten hip to But I'm going to tell you right now, the reason why you see a lot of these frustrated Black women who are single moms, a lot of them are frustrated because they've gotten too old to just be fucking niggas for no reason. That was fun for about 10, 15, 20 years, but now that shit ain't fun no more. You get up in your 40s and 50s, you don't want all them niggas, them dicks all up in you. So they start trying to get serious. But the problem is you done fucked your life up already. Ain't no, man, fuck that, man. Look, let me explain something to you. Ain't no pussy worth you taking care of some other man's kids. Ain't no pussy worth you tolerating a woman with a shitty attitude. Ain't no pussy worth you sitting up here dealing with some woman's adult children who won't leave the house permanently. It ain't worth it. I've had women tell me, I got to go home at 2 o'clock in the morning after we've been boning most of the night. I got to go home because my 25-year-old daughter just had a bad breakup with her boyfriend. And I'm like, well, damn, who's the parent here? What kind of shit is that? So don't get mad at these men. Don't get mad at these men if they don't want to fuck with you. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of protest and there's a huge revolt from black men who are just dropping out of the dating game for the simple fact that they tired of meeting single moms. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm going to be honest with you, man. And I'm not trying to be nasty here, ladies. Just trying to be real. And I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear this, but you need to hear it. It ain't going to get no better for you the older you get. I don't care if you still look good for your age. There's plenty of good-looking 50-year-old women out here there who are by themselves. Because again, if you crazy as cat shit, how many men you think even the best simp or trick out here is sooner or later he gonna get tired of you? Let alone real players, the guys you really want. We gonna be like, man, I ain't finna fuck with you. Get your life in order. All right, guys, we're at $20. Come on, let's raise 50 tonight. Okay? Let's raise 50 tonight. So again, the reason out of all the other races, even Caucasians, there's a lot of bullshit that goes on between Caucasian males and females in this country. But the one thing they agree on is white supremacy. They put race first. They'll still deal with each other. They'll still be complaining about each other. But one thing they don't do, which is what you did, is get rid of their men. I have dated countless Caucasian women, mostly middle class. And the one thing they say, one thing they do not do, they do not bash their men. They and if they do bash their men, it's individually. They'll say, okay, Rob wasn't shit. My ex-husband Rob was garbage. Fuck him. But they don't, and they might say, well, I just strictly date black men now. And I'll be like, well, why is that? Well, because black men, I like black men swag. I'm at a place where I'm not, my job is not going to get ruined if I date a black man. So I don't care. Because you have to understand something. Caucasian women who really look good and got a little paper, they ain't going to date no black man. Not in public. Because I've had a couple where I had to go over there and hit that thing in private. We very seldom did we ever go to any place where she felt she was going to see people who worked at the corporation she worked at. Okay? That's how they get down. But then there was some who said, I don't care. But they don't bash their men as a whole. like black women do. And black women have no problem with bashing black men in front of other races, which is another traitorous activity that black women engage in. You have to remember something. If these black men ain't shit and they come from your womb, what does that make you? I'll wait. Y'all hear me knocking? Well, damn it, let me in. This is the Real Talk Express, bruh, sis. We don't hold back on my show. That's why a lot of people, they, after almost every broadcast, most of the time I lose, people unfriend me on Facebook because they can't take the heat. They can't take this smoke. Oh, they can't deal with the smoke. Especially black women, but black men too. But I give everybody the work. Everybody gets work on my show, black men and women. But black women do horribly in dating. When I was researching, while I'm writing this book, man, black women do horribly when in dating, especially over the age of 30. They do horribly. And it's your fault. Somebody posted a picture of some black female teacher who's like 29 years old and she's pregnant with no husband. And you got almost every last black woman on there saying, what's the problem? 30 years ago, it would have been the black women who would have been calling her a hoe if the internet was out then. Because the women who are saying what's the problem, they're single moms. So they don't see no reason why. They don't see nothing wrong with it because their moms were single moms. That's why I told my daughter, I said, you come up from a long line of single moms. Which one of y'all is going to break the cycle? It ain't going to be you. Your great-grandmother was a single mom. Your grandmother has been married. She on her 7th husband. She's been a single mom most of her adult life. She got pregnant at 13. And your mom's on her 2nd marriage. That's just fact. Who's going to break the cycle? You? I think not. Just because somebody ends up married doesn't mean they ain't a hoe. Just because somebody got a ring on their finger and they got a husband doesn't mean that they in a great situation. Because there's a whole lot of miserable married women out here. Because I was looking at another study and it said, women are the main ones who cheat in marriages. Did y'all know that? 85% of marriages of divorces are initiated by women. Does that sound like you need to get married, guys? No. Your purpose of getting married is to build and create resources together, not to be getting married and divorced over again. But if you marry a single mom, somebody that comes from a dysfunctional single female headed household like I did, you're going to end up divorced. because these women, they're not there. They're individuals. They're not there to work as a team. They're just there to take resources. And it ain't going to get any better. But that single mom percentage is at 80% today. In 10 years, it'll be at probably 92, 93%. And the media has a field day clowning black women over the fact that you're less likely to get married because you're not marriage material. And it's sad. It's sad, but oh well. That's why I be telling black women stop clowning brothers when they go out there and date outside their race, because these guys want somebody that's going to be there. They ain't looking for somebody that's just there. Well, let's see what I'm going to get. Then after they have sucked all the life out of your ass and tried to suck all your resources out your ass, then here they go looking for somebody else to live off of. That's what they do. That's not what happened in my case. It was a mutual parting of the ways. And had I not been in grad school working on my first master's degree, I would have bailed out before, because I was done. It's too easy for a married man to fuck other women. I got more ass as a married man than I did. Actually, I ain't gonna say that, but I did get offered a lot of ass. American women love married men. I used to go to the club with some of my cousins sometime, or I would go to places with male co-workers. Man, if I had my ring on, I got all kind of play, especially from black women. Because I've even asked black women, what is the draw for you to want to get a married man? And they said, well, I always know where he at. He ain't got that much time to be trying to fuck other women. And I'm like, you might not want to base it on that, because I know some married men that slang dick more than single men. So that ain't a good reason. Not a good reason. Well, married men don't expect nothing. We get together and have a good time. That's all I want is a good time. That's why I tell women today, when I meet women, I tell them, if they like, well, you looking to get married again? I'm like, I don't think so. Well, what would change your mind? I said, meeting somebody that keep their legs closed, who's loyal, who keeps their appearance looking right. I'm not gonna marry somebody else that want to sit around and be slovenly lazy and sit around eating bullshit all the time and getting fat and being morbidly obese. I ain't tolerating that shit. It's one thing to meet somebody that look good, and then 20 years down the road, they start looking overweight. But when you meet somebody and I don't care how I look, I'm just going to, wear something black so it make me look small. Man, if you don't get the fuck out of my face with that shit, I don't put up with that. I don't put up with that, dog. I'd rather sit at home with dry balls. Okay? Not a problem. I got plenty to do at home anyway. I can keep my mind occupied on other things other than sex. But some of you guys are my age and you still ain't got that. You still can't control yourself. And that's sad. All right, guys, we're at $20. Hey, come on, man. Let's get up to 50, man. Come on. Come on, YouTube. Those of you who haven't donated, please go over to asktheiceman.com and donate $5 today. Today is $5 Tuesday. We're going to go ahead and take a break right now so you guys can figure out what you're going to do. I'm not going to start the show until we get some more donations. You tune in to the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Keep it locked right here on Iceman Radio. We're doing a triple cast today, ladies and gentlemen. We're on, well, we were on Blog Talk Radio. We're signed off now, but we're doing a simulcast. We're on Facebook Live. And we're on YouTube live stream. So let's go ahead and get up to $50. Let's get those donations popping. Keep it locked right here. Tune in to the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Those of you who follow the NFL, you're aware of this situation with the very brilliant former Kansas City Chiefs running back Kareem Hunt, who was waived by the Chiefs after a TMZ video popped up of him kicking and hitting a Caucasian female in the hallway of a hotel. This incident took place, I believe, February of this year. And we're just now hearing about it. Whenever you see these situations that happen between with these brothers, these young brothers, these athletes, or these entertainers, I always ask the hard questions. Why did it happen? How did it happen? What provoked this man to do what he did? And what's the outcome going to be? What's the end game? Well, the end game was he got fired by the Chiefs, which is totally unfortunate because he is one of the best running backs. He is the best running back in the NFL, bar none. Kareem Hunt runs better than any. He runs like one of these old school running backs from like the 70s. That's how effective he is. I don't know if it's because of the offensive line. I don't think it's that much. I think it's more attributed to how he gets down than it is the offensive line blocking for him. Because in today's offense, a lot of these offensive lines are not very good at run blocking. Hell, then some of them are not good at pass or run blocking because a lot of these coaches are garbage at the pro level. A lot of these coaches are used car salesmen. They talk a good game to get the job, but once they get the job, they don't do shit. Which is why most of the NFL's teams are at 500 or below 500. You got franchises out here that never even go 500. And yet people keep coming to the games. Why? I don't know. A guy that I went to junior high school with, Hugh Jackson. I know Hugh. Shit, his high school lit us up in a football game. If Hugh had been 6 feet tall or 6'1", he would have played in the NFL. That nigga had an arm, and they got an arm on him. He had an arm when we were in junior high. That's one of the few guys I've ever seen throw the tightest spiral. But look at Cleveland. They went 0-16. Apparently, he ain't that good of a coach. I mean, he did better with Oakland, but Man, Cleveland's a bad organization anyway. And here's the thing, people. I always ask the tough questions. Do you guys remember that video of Joe Mixon? Remember Joe Mixon? He used to play for the Sooners. He used to play for Oklahoma. Now he's on the Cincinnati Bengals. He's a damn good running back, ain't he? Remember what happened to him? They showed that video of him hitting that white girl. Well, what they didn't tell you is she kept calling him a nigger. And she was talking shit, and she got all up in his face because, you know, you get some of these Caucasian girls, some of these Caucasian women, they'll get high on weed or whatever, or they'll get drunk on alcohol, especially down there in the South, because almost every Caucasian person in the South is an alcoholic anyway. And she got all up in his face talking shit. And that's when you saw him knock her ass out. He still got drafted, though. He's still getting that money. He dropped a couple of rounds, but he still got hooked up because Marvin Lewis knows how to pick some winners. The problem is his assistant coaches ain't worth shit. But Joe Mixon, Oklahoma always gets good running backs. I mean, look at Adrian Peterson. He broke off that 90-yard run yesterday. I was like, God damn. Oklahoma always, I mean, going back to Billy Sims, they always get good running backs. I don't know how they do that shit. But they never tell the whole story. Don't ever expect the white media, the white supremacist media, to tell the truth about anything. If you got somebody to keep calling you a nigger and they keep physically getting in your space, sooner or later, even the most meekest brother is gonna knock your ass out. But nobody has said anything about that little white supremacist calling him nigger. And here come Kareem Hunt. What they don't, all they show you is him knocking that bitch the fuck out. What they don't show you is what happened before that. That's why you can't never believe nothing they say. That's when I see all these black women online talking shit, talking about, yeah, that's right, they should have got rid of his ass with your race-trading ass. You talk like that amongst yourselves. You don't talk like that in front of all these other races. White, see, Donald, let me explain something to you. Very few Caucasian women will talk too much shit even about Donald Trump in front of other races. Have you noticed that? They might say a couple of things about him, but they ain't gonna go into detail. Black women spill all the tea in front of all these other races. There is no kind of racial loyalty with black women. And again, it's easy to fool women because women never ask the tough questions. A man will. He'll say, nah, I'm going to put my thinking cap on. What's going on here? What happened before he came out of that hotel room? And sure enough, this is some old white skank that got beside herself, went to his hotel room thinking and I think he may have had another woman in there. And she started banging on his door, calling him a nigger. Now, what I would have done, because I got to keep it player, hitting women ain't player. What I would have done is I would have kept it player. I would have got on the horn and called security and said, man, if you don't get this bitch away from my door, that's what I would have done. See, brothers, you got to use your head, man, because he's going to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars getting fired like that. And ain't nobody else going to pick him up this year. Now, Reuben Foster on the 49ers, he got picked up. And the GM said for the Redskins, he said, look, we did our due diligence on Reuben Foster, and we found out that there was another story to that situation, and it possibly that young sister, that his ex-girlfriend was mad because he dropped her ass. So she made up this story that he whooped her ass. And the Redskins was like, no, we ain't gonna sit up here and just believe what this bitch say. This guy's too talented. We're gonna do our due diligence. But the optics look bad when you just like Ray Rice. I talk about that in my book. I talk about Ray Rice in here in detail. That whole thing that happened with him. Ray Rice ruined his career doing that shit. Use your head. I don't give a damn if you got to take your girlfriend or your now wife up to the room and say, look, you need to sleep this shit off. I'm going to go get me another room because I ain't going to put up with this. That's what I would have done. But you gonna sit up there and knock this girl out, and both of y'all pissy drunk. It was just a bad look all the way around. And the same thing with Kareem Hunt. These guys are making all this money, and they don't know how to deal with these females, man. That's what happens when you come out of these single female head of household. These dudes don't know how to deal with no women. I'm sitting up here thinking, because see, you got to understand something, brothers. These white supremacist females will call you nigger all day long and still suck your dick and still fuck you. And a lot of brothers are confused about that. They like, how can these bitches be racist but still fuck with us? Because they're heathens. Only a heathen would do that. Talk all that shit and still, but because one thing you have to understand about Caucasians, they love gutter sex. When they have sex with other races, it's gutter sex to them. The males and the females love gutter sex. That's why I don't let them pull that Mandingo shit with me. If they're on that Mandingo shit or they're trying to get they dine and dash on, the Iceman don't even deal with them. I don't even deal with them. It ain't that serious to me, dog. I done had enough ass. I ain't got to run out. I ain't never had to chase no women. Okay? If you got to chase women, that's because something ain't working for you. Men lead, women chase men. Okay? Men lead, men build, women choose. Players get chose. If you got to go out here and convince a woman by bugging the shit out of her that you worthy of dealing with, something wrong with your game. Something wrong with your game, homie. Or you have no game. But I get sick and tired of seeing these black men get caught up dealing with these skanks. Why you getting caught up, bruh? Why you letting some skank get you caught up? Fucking your money up. Your money, your income is the most important thing going on. You ain't gonna make that kind of money nowhere else. So why you gonna fuck it up? The reason why Ezekiel Elliott got suspended last year was because, and there was a picture that surfaced where there's a white female. They were down at on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, in the know, and he's grabbing the breast of a white female. You have to understand, black men, most Caucasian males in this country still don't like you messing with their women, especially the ones that are attractive. They don't like that shit. Now, they don't mind sacrificing the fat ass cows that you see a lot of black men with. They don't have a problem with you getting a big fat ass cow. But if you get a Becky that looks good, that's a Becky that they got to compete against you, compete with you to get. Oh, they don't like that. And that's where the trouble come in. So Ezekiel Elliott got suspended because of that. Because they try to, they didn't tell people in the public tell the American public that that's really the reason why they suspended it. Because it was already proven by the Dallas Cowboys investigators that he did not beat that ex-girlfriend. It was found that she was lying. Y'all better ask somebody. Sometimes it's just like with Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby ain't sitting in prison because he raped anybody or drugged anybody and raped anybody. Bill Cosby's in prison because he was messing around with white women. And they don't like that shit. They don't have a problem getting your ass 50 years later if it takes that long. They have no problem. You got to understand, these white supremacists are patient. They have no problem getting at your ass sooner or later for messing around with white women. So Scandal is a hit television show because they know black women have such low self-esteem that being a side piece of a white dude is something that they've dreamt of since slavery. You got to understand, brothers, a lot of these black women are really white supremacists in blackface. And a lot of these black females, you think because she got brown skin that she's some loyalist to the black race, and she isn't. You got a lot of black women out here lusting after white males. I've seen it with my own two eyes. And some of them will go out here choosing up on Caucasian dudes at the club and in bars. They won't choose up on your ass though, but they'll be all up in Bob's face. And that's why I be telling brothers, you gotta, you can't just accept black women as they are. You got to take a look at them, because a lot of black women are secret Negro bed wenches. They want to be in a white man's bed rather than be in yours, because they think there's more resources in his bed. And a lot of times these black females don't get nothing but some hard dick and nothing else. They don't get no money. They don't get shit. It's just they fare just like they do with these white feminists. Black women go out there and protest and put their fist up in the air, and the white women get the bag. And the black women go home with nothing. The black women come home with nothing, with empty hands, because you got a lot of black women who believe that they're part of the team. They think they're team white supremacy. And all these Caucasians do is use their asses. They use them to get back at us. That's what that Nazi child support system was about. You got to understand, they have no problem creating programs that may hurt other men, but their main target is you. Their main target is black men. See, you don't know how you see a lot of black people. A lot of black people want to believe that racism, white supremacy doesn't exist. So they think if they don't get called a nigger in public, or if they don't get called nigger at work, that somehow there's no racism. And a lot of us get caught up like that. And then next thing you know, these same black folks get pulled over by a cop, or they get harassed by one of these race soldiers in the parking lot of Target or Walmart. And all of a sudden it's like, well, I don't understand why you're being racist toward me. Like that woman, that sagging face deputy dog female that called the police on them two fat black women. And you should heard some of the stuff this bitch was saying. She was saying, look at you guys. I live here. I make over 100,000 a year. I'm white. I'm cute. I'm pretty. Which was none of the above. She wasn't cute and she wasn't pretty. She was below average looking. Exactly. Bill I've been wanting to say that for the longest. Bill Clinton had the nerve to be standing up to talking about, yeah, we gonna make sure we gonna take care of these deadbeat dads. Yet he got a black son he ain't paying for. That hypocrite, that draft dodging hypocrite. The only thing I got respect for H.W. Bush for is he didn't shirk his military responsibility. He went over there and flew them planes and got shot down. I saw the footage of him being rescued by the Navy. I've seen it. Exactly. Looked just like him. He looked just like him, and he ain't got a dime from Bill Clinton. Fuck out of here. Bill Clinton got a lot of nerve. But I'm going to tell you right now, that child support bill wasn't his idea. I guarantee that came from Hillary. Yeah, them bunny rabbit ass teeth. Look just like Bill Clinton. Ain't fooling nobody. Bill Clinton is something else, ain't he? He's something else. That dude's something else. Hey, if you haven't donated today, this is $5 donation Tuesday. Please go over to asktheiceman.com and donate if you have not donated. Everybody, I know some of y'all have not donated. And Hillary up here talking about, I'm going to run again in 2020, boy. I hope Biden just runs for the hell of it. I mean, I ain't vote for none of these people. I'm not voting for none of these people. But I definitely would rather see Biden up there than sorry ass Hillary. I can't stand Hillary. I can't stand Bill or Hillary. I don't want to see either one of them. I don't want to see either one of them. And I know you black women, y'all just, want to suck Bill Clinton's dick. You just riding Bill dick. You've been riding Bill Clinton's dick since 92. Black women love Bill Clinton. 98% of black women voted for Hillary. What's that, brothers? What does that tell you about where black women's loyalties lie? I probably would have accepted black women voting for Trump before I would have accepted them voting for Hillary's no good ass, crooked Hillary. Blow this candle out. Y'all hear about that NFL umpire that called Jerry Hughes, who plays for the Bills, called him a bitch? See, like I said, I don't take stuff like that lightly. Whenever like I said, it's certain conduct that lets you know that person is a white supremacist. Okay? And you can believe what you want to believe. Because a lot of you, that's just what you do. That's just what you do. You don't want to believe fat meat is greasy, just like them immigrants down there. You don't want to believe fat meat is greasy. Because a lot of you black women, you don't start talking about racial solidarity until one of these race soldiers posting as police officers or one of these deputized white supremacists kill one of your kids. Then all of a sudden you talking about black first. But before that, you talking that Hillary Clinton shit. Or you talking about white zaddy. I would give me a white man. Fuck you niggas. Go get you a white man, and after he bust your vagina out, all to be damned, and then drops your ass. Don't bring your ass back over here to black men with your mixed kids. Don't bring your ass over here. Go right back over there with Zaddy. You ain't gonna pull that shit. I met a black woman in Minneapolis that had some old half black kids. I told her, I said, I ain't interested. I don't care how big your ass is. I'm not interested. She was like, what you ain't, are you one of these black men that ain't in the black women? I said, oh, I'm definitely in the black women. I don't deal with black women that go out here and do Negro bedouin shit. Go out here and have all these babies with some white man, and now your ass up here trying to date a black man. I'm not interested. Sorry. I can do better. I'm sorry. I can do better, lady. Go back over there with Zaddy. Since you love white men so much. Take your scandal ass back over there. No matter what, let me tell you something. Exactly. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. But I'm going to tell you right now. We have gotten to a point in American history where black folks are going to have to start looking out for themselves. Fuck everybody else. Everybody that has come to this country has become millionaires and billionaires at the expense of black people. They've come over here from Vietnam, from Central America, from Mexico, and in one generation, they're doing better than you, and your people have been here 400 years. And the reason why that keeps happening is because black folks don't want to help. They don't want to support each other. When one of us goes out here and starts a business, we say, oh, I ain't helping that nigga. Fuck him. Fuck her. I ain't helping her black ass. That's the first thing we say. But we'll go out here and give Asian people all our fucking money. There's all kind of black women who sell bundles, that sell hair care products, but black women won't support them because that's what we do. And that's why I keep telling brothers that we have to, at some point, we're going to have to start calling these race traders out, and we're going to have to do away with them. We're going to have to do away with them. We're going to have to do away with these people because they are dangerous to our survival. We're out here fighting these white supremacists, and then we got some black woman sitting up here talking about, I'm with them. Well, you know what? Just like with the Haitians, you're going to have to go with the white supremacists, and you're going to have to suffer the same fate that they're going to suffer. Black folks have no problem making other races rich, but then will stand around and complain about it. I wrote about this in my book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. I talk about that in here, that the Koreans in Los Angeles make $1 billion off South Central every year. And now look at them after 30, 40 years of being in this country. They're living fat while we sitting up here starving. But we have to redirect that $1.3 trillion. Some Asian own a beauty salon or a beauty supply place, or I think it was a beauty salon in New York City, beat a black woman up, and then you had them same mammies over there hugging on the Asian people that own the store, while the brothers and sisters are out there protesting. That's why I say a lot of these hood rat black women and these college educated hood rat black women who love white society more than they love us, we're going to have to expose them, and we're going to have to make it so difficult that they have nowhere else to go but over there, because there's no home for you. Get your black ass out of here before you lose your life. It's coming down to that. We're getting close to that right now, where you're going to have to pick a side. And if you pick the wrong side, you're going to die with the enemy, because that's what you are. You are the enemy. Now, you might sit up here and say, that's a little extreme, Iceman, but it's not. You can't survive under a system of white supremacy and racism, and you got black women and some black men out here being traitors. It doesn't work. And in the long run, we all lose. So we got to cut our losses now. That's why, a lot of people complain about Tariq. A lot of people complain about TBA. A lot of people complain about all the brothers that are on YouTube exposing these Negro bedwenches and these coons and these mammies. Got a lot of black women complaining about it, but I'm glad these guys are keeping the heat on their ass. Yeah, I seen it. Probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, I seen it. It's just as sad as the one they did back in the 60s. Just as sad. That's sad, man. That you got little ass kids, 4, 5, 6 years old, already feeling the effects of white supremacy and racism, and they're already rejecting their black selves. Black women, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not helping. You're not helping. And you're going to get exposed for who you are, a traitor. Now, you can unfriend me. It's still not gonna replace the fact that you're a traitor, and that you would rather be in bed with the enemy than be with us. And you're going to pay for it. And we're going to make sure you pay for it. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't in no rush. I get these white females, they'll say some slick shit to me like this. They'll be like, well, so, exactly. I don't tell nobody what I'm working on. I mean, there's some stuff that doesn't make any difference. Ain't nobody gonna stop me from writing a book. Okay? Ain't nobody gonna stop that. But some of this other stuff that I'm working on, I don't tell nobody shit. I don't even tell family because I got big mouth family members, especially on my mother's side. All them niggas do is sit around talking about me and other people. So I don't tell them niggas nothing. Plus, most of them niggas ain't nothing but simps anyway. I thought maybe we were going to be able to raise 50 tonight, y'all. Don't look like we're going to make it. We got a pretty good, a little bit bigger turnout tonight than we did Saturday as far as viewership. Let me turn this heater on, man. It seems like the heat don't stay in this fucking crib, man. Because I really don't want to run the heat. I really don't want to run the heat all day. You know, this has been a day where this is one of the rare days that I've been been here all day or most of the day. Crispy. Now hey, Justin Bieber. Now it's a sad day when Crispy's calling out buffoonery. Okay. Now you digs. I personally, you know what? Let me say this about the NFL. I think sometimes some of these penalties on these brothers be based in white supremacy more than it is on whether or not these guys committed a penalty. Because when I saw that that dude sitting up there talking about calling that defensive end a bitch. That means you can't be trusted to do your job. You can't be impartial. You're supposed to be impartial. If you calling this guy a bitch, I'm wondering if you calling all black men a bitch. Make you wonder. Because it definitely would make me wonder whether or not I could trust this guy. It's just like that ref that was sitting up there working for the mafia, that NBA ref. Would you trust him back on the court? No. But I'm telling you, black women, you asking for trouble. You are asking for trouble. You asking to be left by yourself. You're asking to be alone. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the reason why all these Asian shop owners are beating y'all ass, you got all these cops beating black women's asses, you got white citizens beating black women, beating the brakes off of black women, and black men just sitting back just like this. Black men just chilling. I had a video of this black woman, this black female security guard in Chicago. I did a video on this a year and a half ago. And these three drunk young white people. It was two big ass Italian dudes and a little white girl, the little Becky that was with them. And they had just left a club that was right near this high-end condo building. And the sister has, when you do security, you got to do your rounds. So by the time she was standing out front and they walked by, and the only thing they show is the video part with no sound. And you see her saying something to the dude, him say something back to her, and then he took water bottle and threw it at her. That's the first thing he did. Then he keeps jaw jerking. He turns around, walks right back over there to her, hauls off and hits her ass in the eye and breaks this bone this ocular bone right here. She ended up having to have surgery. Black woman, you're out here naked with no protection. Because when you have no boyfriend and no husband, you are the only race of women walking around talking about you don't need a man. I have to this day never heard Caucasian females say anything that asinine and stupid. You are the only group of women talking about you don't need your man. As many times as I have seen black women get the brakes beat off of them by Arab pizza store owners, Asian beauty supply and salon owners, Caucasian males, you would think that some of y'all will grow a brain and say, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go get me a man so I got me some goddamn protection. Because if you are in a relationship with a man, he ain't gonna let nobody step to you. I ain't gonna let nobody step to me, step to my woman. If I'm in a relationship with somebody, I ain't gonna let nobody step to my woman unless they want to get a beat down. You want to catch a beat down? Step to her and say some stupid shit. Because sometimes in San Antonio, some of them old Mexican men, they'll get drunk and be in public acting a fucking fool. And I'll be like, dog, if you say something else to my date, I'm going to knock your ass in the next week. Because, see, a lot of them Mexican dudes, they ain't badass when they by themselves. They're only a badass when it's 5 or 6 of them and they high on that sherm. Or they drunk. Now all of a sudden they a certified badass. Everybody go over to asktheiceman.com. Please donate $5 today. This is $5 Tuesday. Please go over there and drop $5 in the till. All donations are tax deductible. All of them, all donations are tax deductible with my 501c3. So please have the spirit of giving. If you're going to give to a black-owned business. When 2019 tax season rolls around, you'll be able to write that off on your taxes. You digs? So let's try to raise $50 today. Okay? Let me read to all you guys what Ty Cromwell just wrote. Black women are buying into the white woman feminism propaganda, but they don't realize that feminism is not meant for them. I couldn't have said it any better than that. The NFL Players Union is the weakest union of all professional sports. Even the NHL Players Union is better than their asses. The NFL's player union has been horrible since the 80s. Major League Baseball, they get guaranteed money. NBA, they get guaranteed money. They make way more money than them guys in the NFL. The NFL gets more glory, but the NFL and Major League Baseball makes more money. If I knew somebody who was who played football, baseball, and basketball, you know what I tell them? Fuck that football. Play basketball, baseball. You'll be able to play that shit for 20 years and still be making $2 or $3 million a year. Whereas with football, you lucky you last 3 years playing that shit. You lucky. It ain't worth it. It's not worth it to see guys getting ALS and all these other head traumas. It ain't worth it, man. Not for that little bit of money. Getting your head knocked off. Shit. But NBA contracts and Major League Baseball contracts are guaranteed. Major League Baseball's got the best contracts because if you play minor league baseball, you getting pimped. But once you play on a major league roster, one day you get medical for the rest of your life. One day. You ain't got to play. You ain't even got to play. You just got to be suited up and on the bench. One day you get medical benefits the rest of your life. I think if you play, 2 or 3 games, you get you get some kind of, it was something else they get. They get an X amount of dollars if they start. Or if they just play, period. That's why them baseball players be playing 22, 23 years. Yeah, you're right. NFL owners make more money from them television deals. They also make money off of them tax abatements they get for them fucking expensive ass stadiums. Look at Mercedes. I was in Atlanta. I was living in Atlanta when they was building that stadium. You see how cold-blooded that stadium is in Atlanta? Man, that motherfucker's cold-blooded. It opens up like a, oh my God, man. They were talking about Jerry Jones was jealous. Because he was like, oh, that looked better than my shit. Fuck the Cowboys. I hope them motherfuckers don't make it to the playoffs. Fuck Jerry Jones. I'm going to tell you 2 teams that ain't going to be in the Super Bowl. The Patriots and the Cowboys. A $4 billion stadium, and you should see how the city of Atlanta looks. Some parts of Atlanta, you think you in a third world country. That's why I had to get out of there. I was like, man, I got to get out of here. I got to get away from this place. I never liked Atlanta. Oh yeah, but a lot of them white players be broke too. Oh, they just don't talk about them, but a lot of them white dudes be broke too. Don't let them fool you. That's because them niggas be chasing hoes, man. Why would you spend $50,000 on a birthday bash at a club just to fuck women you've already fucked? That don't make sense. If I was an NBA, if I was in any of them leagues, I would just go get whatever car I want to get. If I want to get a Bentley, I get a Bentley. I just be sitting on the hood of my Bentley just like this at the club. I wouldn't even go in. I'd just be like this. What's up? Because I sure as hell wouldn't. I mean, I ain't got a quarter of that money, and I ain't gonna act like, I still wouldn't act like that. I just don't have a trick mindset. Some guys just got that trick. A lot of brothers are just desperate. That's that desperation mentality. The glory. Yeah, I went to, the first time I went to Atlanta was in 95. I had a ball. Back then, 90s Atlanta was popping. But man, when all them New York niggas, when they really ain't, because New York niggas have always been in Atlanta. It's when them Chicago niggas, them Detroit niggas, them Indianapolis niggas, them LA niggas start moving to Atlanta. That's when it got fucked up. That's who ruined Atlanta. And then all them homos. Because you have to understand, RuPaul said that when he got to Atlanta didn't have all them gay men there. They were starting to move to Atlanta. See, he got ran out of San Diego. San Diego is a military town. Now, you ain't gonna be switching and they don't tolerate that there. So he got the hell out of San Diego. He said he didn't want to go to San Francisco because of the AIDS shit. He didn't want to go to New York either. So a lot of the homos from San Francisco and New York start moving to Atlanta. And then, like I told y'all earlier in the broadcast, the Twin City is a Caucasian male gay hangout. And there's a few brothers up there switching and carrying on. Shit, Troy Aikman straight up said, he said, I ain't getting married till I didn't get married till I retired. Then he got divorced. Shit, he got divorced, you know. Oh, hell yeah, brothers lead the nation in simping and tricking. Even some of them white sportscasters be talking about them sorry niggas. I remember one time, one sportscaster said that he said I used to work with Charles Barkley. He said I used to work with Charles Barkley and I used to work with John Sally. And he said he couldn't stand it. He said these niggas was trying, all these niggas are married, and them niggas be, when they be at them meet and greets with the media, he said all they do is run from white girl to white girl trying to holler. And it's embarrassing. And this wasn't no white supremacist dude. He wasn't no white. This guy, I forgot who he was. He wasn't a big name. He wasn't a real big name broadcaster, but you've seen him on TV. He does basketball games. He was like, man, he said, dude, I can't stand being around John Sally and Charles Barkley. They're pathetic. He said they're so out with it. They're so outwardly with it. It's embarrassing. And I agree. Hey, look, I ain't the moral police. Look, if you a married man and you like to get your swerve on, the best way to go about doing that is to be on the down low. To do that shit on the low. You don't be all at the club with other women and all that old shit. Then you get caught. Now the bitch is taking half your money. So all that money you made at the NBA and the NFL and Major League Baseball, the bitch is taking half that shit, if not more. Plus you got your ass paying alimony. Man, ain't no way I get caught up in no shit like that. That's why once you get resources, because I've lost resources, got it back, lost it, got it back. Once you get your resources back, like I had to scrap and scrape to get them back, I ain't losing that shit again. And I damn sure ain't gonna let no female roll up in here thinking she gonna die on my goddamn couch with a check in her hand. That's why I be telling these women, hey, man, if you my age, we not getting married. I ain't married. I wouldn't, look, man, if I told my dad, I said, if you ever see me get married again, she gonna be 15 to 20 years younger than me. You ain't gonna see no 40, 50-year-old broad up in here. You ain't gonna come up in here and die on me. I ain't taking care of no half-dead woman. Are you serious, dog? I wouldn't doubt it. Especially schools like Matter Day. You know about Matter Day, don't you? They win state championship almost every year. They be having brothers 7 feet tall playing for them. You go to their games and you right, you'll see Kardashians at their game. Exactly. High school. Hey, California is a different animal, dog. It really is. I wouldn't be in the country either. I'll be over there in Europe chilling somewhere. I'll be in Brazil chilling. Okay? I'll be sitting down with my money manager making moves, doing like Shaq. I'll be out here making moves. Or I'll be, setting up my broadcasting career. So as soon as I retire, I'm walking right in the booth. As soon as I get knocked around, I'm going right in that booth, making $1 million a year. Shit, look at Tony Romo. Tony Romo moved Phil Simms out that booth. Y'all see that? I didn't like Phil Simms anyway because his English is damn near as bad as some of these brothers. So I'm glad they got rid of Phil Simms' ass. But Tony Romo was way more articulate than he was. Shit, Tony Romo's getting $1 million at least. Usually they get about $500,000 or $750,000. Shit. Tony Romo getting $1 million. And if he ain't, something wrong. Because he's good at it. Because I don't even like looking at games on CBS. But if Tony Romo's calling the game, I'll watch it. Oh, hell yeah. And you got all them single moms offering their black sons up to these white folks. Them white folks don't care about your child. All they trying to do is make money off of them. And it's just like Jamie Foxx said in that movie, Any Given Sunday. He said, everybody been making money off me ever since I was in fucking college. Oh, yeah, his brother Sterling and Shannon Sharp were hellified football players. Shannon Sharp might have that speech impediment, but he is very intelligent. Because a lot of people was clowning him, talking about, oh, man, they got Shannon Sharp on there because he can't talk. Nah, Shannon Sharp on there because he's smart. Because he comes up. One thing I give Shannon Sharp credit, he will call out some white supremacy. He ain't like a lot of them sellout niggas where he's scared to say something. Shannon getting his money too. Shannon getting his paper too. I think their mom, I think their dad was in the army. I think. I'm not sure because they're from Savannah. Yeah, Shannon Sharp ain't no joke. I was wondering why his brother stopped doing. He was on Fox Sports. He was on Fox for a minute. I guess his brother got tired of it. But you know, them guys took care of their money. Some of them brothers take care of their money. That's why you don't see nothing, see them anywhere, because they done took care of their money. But the ones you see that be on ESPN acting all thirsty and, you know, like Stephen A be on there agreeing with every white supremacist bullshit talking point. See, Stephen A can kiss my ass. Oh yeah. Yeah. Skip Bayless is a good sports writer. I give him credit because he does criticize the Cowboys when they deserve it. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna tell you what's going on down there in Dallas. A lot of people are they got a petition going around talking about they want the Cowboys. They want to try to force Jerry Jones to sell the Cowboys. And I'm telling people, you're kind of wasting your time doing that, because the only way they can make Jerry Jones sell that team is if he does some criminal shit or he say some shit he ain't got no business saying, like that dude that owned the LA Clippers. Talking about nigger this, nigger that. Nigger, 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 nigger. Jerry Jones ain't gonna never sell the Cowboys. They worth too much money. Exactly. Let me read what the Brown Sausage said. Shannon Sharp is a stand-up guy. He knows his weaknesses, but he speaks his mind and has integrity. Exactly. But you know who has no integrity? You know who has no integrity? Wait for it. Wait for it. Somebody probably gonna say it before I get it out. Wait for it. Anybody got any idea who I'm about to say? Whose name I'm about to drop? He said Jason Ridlock. Hey, Apple Cider got it. Ray Lewis ass. Ray Lewis has no integrity, and that nigga is ignorant. That's the most inarticulate nigga that has ever got on TV. I hate, you know, two people I hate to hear him talk. Ray Lewis, I hate to hear him talk because he sounds like a fucking ghetto nigga that can't talk. And he's a sellout. And Chris Carter. I don't like Chris Carter. Liked him as a player. I do not like Chris Carter. Have you ever listened to Chris Carter talk? I think all that alcohol he has been drinking over the years and fucked his head up. He said Don Lemonade. No, Michael Irvin ain't ignorant. No, Michael Irvin ain't. I disagree. Michael Irvin is a sharp cat. He just love them bitches. Michael Irvin be getting caught with bitches all the time around Dallas. And the funny thing about it, his old lady ain't left his ass. And let me tell you something. Do you know how many niggas been fired from the NFL Network for some of the shit that Michael Irvin done? Come on, man. Do you know how many cats got fired by NFL Network, by white women that work behind the scenes? I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Are you that horny that you got to try to talk to the chick that dresses your ass? The woman that's doing your makeup, you trying to holler at that bitch? You got all these groupies out here just waiting to get stuck up, to get some dick stuck up in them, and you sitting up here messing with the chick at the job? Trying to mess with the chick at the job? You look like a fool, nigga. They fired, They fired, my man used to play for San Diego State. They fired Marshall Faulk. They fired, the white dude that used to be on there with him. He used to be a fullback. He used to play for Pittsburgh. I forgot his name. Y'all probably know who I'm talking about. He was a fullback. He got fired for the same shit. All of them got fired for the same thing. And that chick is suing their asses. Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. He said Jesse Peterson. Y'all niggas stupid. Chris Carter be talking. He don't say it's not. He ain't a Stephen A. Chris Carter ain't a sellout. I ain't saying he a Stephen A. But Chris Carter says a lot of. Sometimes he just need to shut up. He talk too much. But sports is a rest haven for white supremacy. And until we get an economic base in this country, you ain't got no power. Look at Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt is the best running back in the NFL. Hands down. And he is in the unemployment line today. Okay? Hands down. Now, the other guy that they put in there to play running back, he's good. He just ain't as effective. But luckily, they still got Tyreek Hill. They got three good wide receivers and a damn good tight end with Kelsey. Oh, Ty Gurley's the shit. Oh, yeah, I would say Ty Gurley, then Kareem Hunt. Yeah. I think they should get paid, but I think they should get paid in the form of like a stipend, like an allowance. Like they say, okay, everybody gets $400 cash every month. This is your spending money. This is so you can take your girl out, you know, to go eat. But see, you have to understand something. I went to at least 3 and graduated from at least 3 major Division I schools. And I can tell you, the football players, as poor as they supposed to be, basketball too, these niggas be driving brand new cars. I've seen these niggas driving SUV. How the fuck does a college student afford a brand new Escalade? Now, we all know, wink, 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 that the boosters are paying for that shit. And the NCAA is a major plantation, and they need to stop punishing these athletes for trying to make some money. Oh, they got a rookie symposium. Every league has a rookie symposium where former players who done lost all their money, as well as other people, come there to speak. They said them dudes be falling asleep. They don't want to hear that shit. They be like, where the hoes at? And it's just like my man, the running back that got cut from the Chiefs. Some guy was online today talking about he beat him up at a nightclub. And you have to ask yourself, why is all this shit? Why does shit like that always come out after the guy gets in trouble already? You have to ask yourself, what did they know and when? Because you can't tell me you didn't know this dude had kicked and hit a white girl. Exactly. Money, hoes, and clothes. You know, I tell guys, you know what? About 20 years ago, you know what I used to do? I used to say, if a guy wasn't getting no pussy, he wasn't shit. 20 years later, I don't say that anymore because it is not worth you spending money on women who are not with you for all the right reasons anyway. You understand me? Not cool. Ladies and gentlemen, the Players Circle podcast on Saturday. Our topic is Inside the Mind of a Gold Digger Part 2. Okay? Inside the Mind of a Gold Digger Part 2. We're going to finish up what we talked about today. Okay? I mean, Saturday. Because there was just too much information. It was just too much. And there was no way I was going to be able to finish. There's no way I'm going to be able to finish. I was going to be able to finish in one episode. So the Players Circle, we're going to finish that up, part 2. We're going to do part 2 this Saturday. The show is going to start at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Okay? We're going to do the triple cast. We're going to be on Blog Talk Radio. We're going to be on Facebook Live, and we're going to be on YouTube live stream. I would like folks to call in. Stop being scared. Exactly. Guys just don't know how to, go ahead and hit it and then just get rid of them bitches, man. I ain't got no money and I know how to do that shit. If I'm really not trying to hear what's coming out of your mouth, I get that bitch out of my house. I'll be like, I got something I got to do. Somebody else about to come over here. I say anything just to get that bitch out of my house, because I'm not going to sit there and deal with you. And I'm not really feeling you like that. Because you got to understand, 99% of the women I deal with, 99% of the women I deal with are just in my face to get paid. They ain't there for the right reasons. And I know that they're not there for the right reasons. So I don't have a problem getting rid of their asses. I have no problem getting rid of them. Because I ain't no simp and I ain't no trick. And it ain't mandatory that you have to be over here or I be over at your house. I used to not have a problem spending the night at women's houses. Shit, the older I get, I don't even want to be spending the night at nobody's house. Because I don't know what might happen at your house. It's hard for me to sleep. Sure, it's hard for me to sleep at somebody's house and I don't really know them like that. I'll get up and leave. Be like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Where are you going? I'm going to my home. Going home. I'm going to my house. I'm getting ready to get in my bed. Well, you can't sleep? I'm like, nah, but let me hit it one more time before I leave. Not a problem. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Bye. So as I bust that nut, I'm like, psst. I put them Nikes on and I'm out the door. I'll make sure I dip. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're on hand for the Players Circle podcast. Going to be our 9th episode. Again, the topic for Saturday is going to be Inside the Mind of a Gold Digger, Part 2. And how you can get at them and get what you want without getting your ass kicked by love. Yeah, digs. Man, let me tell you something, Ty Cromwell. At my age, it's kind of like you just had that bullshit meter. You know what I'm saying? And it's like one telltale thing that lets me know they ain't worth a shit is when they start talking that going out to eat shit. Everything is about, let's try this restaurant. Like, bitch, have you tried it by yourself? Oh, no, I haven't been there. But what you telling me about that goddamn restaurant? I ain't taking you over there. You ain't worked it with both hands yet. Well, you ain't worked it without hands. Well, you ain't worked it with no hands. So when you get my age, you know that if this woman's in my face and I'm an older cat, you just get that mindset that you know this woman is full of shit. Because a woman that's interested in you, she gonna be talking about building something with you. A woman that's up to no good, she's gonna be talking that, well, I like to go to Europe or good. So you like to go to Europe, huh? Where else would you like to go? Well, you know what? I've never been to like Japan. I want to go to Tokyo. I'm like, okay, you got a passport? Yeah. Well, take your ass over there. Well, I don't want to go. It ain't no fun going by myself. So you be going to international places by yourself? I said, half the time I have gone by myself. And the other half, I went with another guy. Oh, y'all was just, I don't know, y'all just over there get some ass. No, we weren't. But that was part of the trip. Yeah, it was. But we did do more sightseeing than we tore up ass. But you just know, it's just some shit that they say. Especially when you get my age, you know they full of shit. You just know. They ain't never suggested nothing they gonna do for you. They ain't suggested nothing. Look, when you get my age, these women won't say stuff like, you know what, let me cook you something to eat. They don't talk like that, especially out this way. Now, maybe in Minneapolis, yeah, to a certain degree. Or, you know, Minneapolis, St. Paul, or maybe San Antonio, maybe. But here, oh, these sorry bitches, man, they ain't gonna do shit but have their hand out like this. That's why man, most of these women up here ain't got no man. They just out here clowning. Seattle's got a little bit different. Women are a little bit different up there, but they still sorry. They're a little better though. Yeah, I've been up there and got chose. Yeah, they got a little bit of sense up there. But down here, I'm in a Republican area. So you can imagine what kind of shit that I see on a daily basis. And Portland's a shit city. Portland ain't shit. Portland is garbage. Their weed is garbage and their city is garbage. Portland is one of these low ass fucking medium-sized cities that ain't got shit popping. And they got a lot of white supremacists in Portland. But anyway, y'all check us out on the Triple Cast. The only place you can get a Triple Cast is on the Player Circle and the Iceman Show. So be on the lookout for the show. This coming Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. The topic is Inside the Mind of a Gold Digger Part 2. We're gonna conclude on the Inside the Mind of a Gold Digger series. Appreciate you guys hanging out with the Iceman. You tuned in to the Iceman Show. If you have not donated today, please go over to asktheiceman.com, scroll down to the donate button and donate $5. Those of you who donated today, thank you for donating. Appreciate it. See you guys on Saturday. One love. Black first.